It's something we all share. The classroom and that one teacher who struck a chord.
The sole reason I came to Spectrum.
Made a difference.
He's the reason I'm passing college-level English.
To these Spectrum High School students, Chris Parker is that teacher.
My little class here within these four walls is having an impact outside my four walls.
As soon as I heard that it was a course, I told my mother that I was transferring schools.
And the subject?
A little bit different than stereotypical history.
The history of rock and roll.
Oh my God, that's the course for me.
Yeah, totally.
It's a great class.
It's my favorite class.
During a grade 12 English class, Chris used lyrics as part of a poetry lesson. A student suggested he teach an entire course like this.
A course where I could combine two of my passions, and that's teaching and music.
The history of rock and roll class was a year in the making. Course outlines, unit plans, learning goals all had to be passed by the board and presented to the school district.
All the suits in a big room, which was scary.
The board loved it, and the history of rock and roll class was born.
The music makes it come alive like it's happening today.
History repeated in song.
It means so much more than reading just a history book. I think they can relate to it a lot easier if it comes through song.
The power of rock and roll, touching the soul.
Blind Lemon Jefferson and all the Mississippi Delta blues artists. The Big Bang in the 50s with Elvis and Little Richard.
60s rock introduced social consciousness and political awareness. Bob Dylan, CCR, the Rolling Stones.
Everything from Vietnam to Woodstock to Altamont. And then of course you have the British invasion. So that changed the world.
Revolution, the Beatles' response to the Vietnam War. Bob Dylan's The Times They Are A-Changin', a commentary on the civil rights movement in the 60s just weeks after the killing of JFK. Neil Young's Ohio, immortalizing the Kent State Massacre in 1970. In the 90s, Rage Against the Machine's Killing in the Name in response to the Rodney King verdict and the deadly LA riots.
You read about it and hear about it, but it's more of a first-hand sort of thing that the people are telling you straight up in the songs from the era. It's pretty cool.
Music provides the soundtrack to life.
Just gets you to your happy place, you know?
It's what keeps me grounded.
Music is everything to me.
Chris brings in various guest speakers who share the same passion for music. Today, that guest is me. I presented my rock photography, shared my concert experiences, and spoke about what music means to me. And then you see it.
I could have like a really long conversation with you about all kinds of music.
A common bond unraveling right before your
The
eyes.
fact that they can appreciate different forms of music and enjoy it and maybe know a bit of the history behind some of the songs, that to me that's priceless.
Rock and roll, the universal language bridging generations.
It's my favorite unit, the 60s, looking at Jimi Hendrix and psychedelia.
I'm a massive Beatles fan.
My favorite topic was heavy metal.
Elvis.
Probably Led Zeppelin.
Now, do you remember that teacher?
To me, music is my life.
It's something that kind of grabs your soul.
It's what defines me as a person.
It's what makes us human.
And that's what Chris Parker's class is all about.
Music is something that brings people together so well.
It's so much more than history, more than music. It's a shared passion, a connection that reaches throughout all generations.
Makes me feel alive.
Yes, that teacher. Chris Parker, the guy these kids will never forget. From Victoria, I'm Kim Rock for ShawTV.